Yes, here at the state capitol, we can tell you that the offices of Governor Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison received subpoenas from the DOJ. We also know the offices of Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, St. Paul Mayor Kali Herr received the subpoenas, and Hennepin and Ramsey counties subpoenaed for records related to immigration enforcement and how they deal with federal immigration enforcement. But all the Democratic leaders who received subpoenas today are fighting them, saying that they believe this is an intimidation tactic and weaponization of the federal government.
As President Trump continues to defend ICE operations in Minnesota and elsewhere,
they're apprehending murderers and drug dealers.
His administration has now issued subpoenas to the offices of 4 top Democrats: Governor Walz, Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, St. Paul Mayor Kali Herr, and Attorney General Keith Ellison. NBC News reported last week that the DOJ had focused a probe on whether Walz and Frey broke a 19th century law against impeding law enforcement through their public statements about ICE, with U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi posting a reminder to all those in Minnesota, no one is above the law.
The bigger question, and it's a really big question, is what in the world could they prosecute?
University of St. Thomas law professor Rachel Moran says the investigation could raise free speech issues.
It seems like they're trying to prosecute someone based on speech, and that is, in the vast majority of situations, illegal.
According to a copy of one subpoena, Mayor Frey's office has been called to testify before a federal grand jury in early February and must turn over more than a year's worth of documents related to immigration. Ellison's office, meanwhile, says his subpoena was for records, not for him personally. He addressed the investigation earlier this week.
If Trump likes you, you can do no wrong. If he doesn't, he's going to use every weapon he can against you, including our criminal justice system.
Walz also accused the DOJ on Tuesday of employing baseless legal tactics. Mayor Frey issued a statement saying the Trump administration is weaponizing power, while Mayor Herr says she is unfazed.
Now, anybody who received a subpoena can file a motion to quash it. That's the term to try to claim that it was meritless if they can show that in court. So that's one option. You can imagine that there are going to be lawyers for all of these officials that are going to fight this pretty hard. Back to you.
Danny, what kind of records or information are they looking for in these subpoenas?
You know, really, the one that was shared by Mayor Frey's office really showed that they're looking for communications between city staff and county and state leaders related to anything with federal immigration and how they're dealing with the federal immigration that's occurring in Minnesota. And again, it's going back to the start of 2025.